So, I know it's been a while since I've done a video where a lot of stuff's happening with me and around the world, right? And a lot of stuff makes me angry. Some stuff makes me sad. Some stuff was inevitable. And, in reference to American political, right? It's usually global. So, what I mean is anything American politics have to do is globally, like trade, for instance, like jobs, tourism is a big one. I know a lot of people don't want to go to America no more, and you know what? Can't really blame them. So I just read a story uh, that said ICE arrested a police officer. That's where America is now, and ICE is trying to say that blah 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 didn't do the checks, and the police chief and everybody said, yeah, yes, we did. I mean, they showed proof, they verified, right? So that's where we're at. We're not a couple weeks away, maybe, for ICE agents arresting an ICE agent. That's where we're at now. We are literally arresting Americans with American citizenships. I saw another story about an American that was arrested. His rights were violated. They threw him back of a car and they drove him 2 hours away. He was gone for a couple hours. And he kept saying, no, I'm an American citizen. It's all because he had a beard and he looked a foreigner. ICE agents are literally racially profiling people. And some of you said, yes, this is what I voted for. Right? But it's gotten so bad that the economy is sinking, and Ford, GM, steel plants, we got tech industry, you have trade, you have ports, you have drivers, delivery drivers, you have truck drivers, you got farmers. It's all crashing down. Walmart's talking about closing maybe a couple of stores, and it's just gotten out of hand. The economy is getting so bad that Trump is complete denial. He fired the person that gave him the job numbers. Said, look, it's pretty bad. So Trump goes, well, I don't believe it, and he fired him. That's where we're at in society now, where Trump just won't listen. He's living in his own world, in his own head. And you Trump supporters that voted him in, you can't say you didn't vote for this or you didn't know it was going to happen. It was all out there. The Jeffrey Epstein tapes, or the Jeffrey Epstein files, for that matter. You all knew he was on that list. You still voted him in. You all knew he was a convicted felon. You still voted him in. You all knew about all his bankruptcies and all his businesses that closed. You still voted him in. You Trump supporters ruined everything, but mostly for yourselves. They took food stamps away from people. There's no help anymore. You got states asking for, when a flood comes in, and Donald Trump's like, no. It's a blue state. They're saying it's not because it's a blue state, but it's because of a blue state. They won't help. You got California, who's giving more money to the federal government, to Texas, but Texas is complaining about California, and they don't have the right. Texas is one of the biggest states that need federal aid. But, when you vote for Trump and Trump gets rid of all the air traffic controls and there's plane wrecks, and when Trump gets rid of all the FEMA, all the weather people that warn people, when a flood comes and there's no warnings and stuff, you can't say nothing. He cut the funding for that. All you veterans that voted for Trump, there's one veteran talked about his therapist was fired. His wife was there. She's crying for him because he doesn't have a therapist at the VA anymore. They got rid of him. Now they're talking about cutting more jobs in the VA, saying, oh, no, this is going to make things better for everybody. That's such gaslighting. When I'm reading the VA news online from the VA director, everything's about, oh, Biden did this and Biden. Come on, man. It's enough now. America used to be not just a beacon for freedom, it was a beacon of hope. Hope around the road that when everything else goes wrong, America won't. When your government turns into a tyranny overseas and you got dictators and you're being killed, America was going to be there for you, man. Kosovo, Bosnia, Macedonia, Iraq, even Afghanistan. We did a lot of good in Afghanistan, whether a lot of people want to admit it or not. Women had a lot of freedoms. They were able to walk around freely until we left. The Taliban took back over. That was a whole situation mess, man. America is no longer seen as good. And ICE agents, man, you guys, well, as everybody else, you have mobile phones, you got internet, you got access to news. You are literally seen as 1930s Germany, the Gestapo, man. That's what you are now. When you are literally arresting Americans based off their looks just to find out they're American later, then we're sending Americans overseas. Trump wants to get rid of any kind of immigrant people that were granted American citizenship. He wants to get rid of. Then he wants to get rid of Americans he doesn't even agree with. Farmers don't got nobody to pick their fields, so grocery prices are double, tripling. What happened to America, man? America used to be something you could take pride in. You got Americans here at the veterans that don't even want to go back to America anymore. They fought for the country. They got hurt for the country. They bled for the country. PTSD for the country. And they don't want to go back no more. You got Filipinos don't want to go back. Yeah, there's a couple that still went. And a couple of airheads that still think it's okay to go over there. But they don't know. If you look Asian to them, ICE don't have their quota for today, and they see you, they're going to pull you over. They're going to verify everything later. They don't care. They don't care. It's racially profiling is what they're doing. Then you got the Coast Guard acting stupid. Our Coast Guard literally, went in Canadian waters, and they told a guy they was in American waters. And he tried to run for it because he's a Canadian. He doesn't have to stop for America. Didn't even apologize for him. Detained him. That's an act of war. That literally happened. You can look it up, man. What happened to America? Where we become the villains? We used to be heroes. And you Trump supporters, you're to blame for everything. If you lost your job because of Trump, if you're losing your livelihood because of Trump and you voted for him, it's because you did it to yourself, but you're doing it to everybody. Your hatred and your arrogance and your inability to think forward is crushing America, man. We got people in positions of power in America that don't belong in that positions. They don't belong. The health secretary, he definitely don't belong. The secretary of education, what a joke. Trump is destroying America, and you voted for it. And it's just not America, but you destroyed the one thing that everybody I grew up with, Gen X grew up with, everybody before me grew up with, everybody after me grew up with, is that America was a force of good. We used to be good, man. Now we're evil. What have you done? I don't think we're ever going to be able to bounce back from what's happening, man. It's just, America's falling.